Well, hello everyone. I am so excited for this Facebook Live, everyone, because I am interviewing a true hero and friend. So while we're getting this shared and recorded, hi everyone, this is Sarah Hine, and I have an awesome interview to share tonight. It is just a hero of a woman, and her journey is incredible. And so tonight is very, very special for me because I love to shed awareness on rare diseases, to just shed light on what they are and hope and how to help overcome them. And so this remarkable, beautiful woman that I am interviewing tonight is the one and only Leisa Higbee. She lives out in Salt Lake, Utah. You would not think that she's not only a mama for, but a grandma for, because she sure does not look it. And I've known this woman for several years, and her story has just really impacted so many people, thousands of people, that I was honored to be able to interview her journey. So Leisa, thank you for doing this with us. And can you just share what this wretched disease is? Tell us about it.
About 3.5 years ago, I was diagnosed with a very rare autoimmune disease called diffuse systemic scleroderma. And it's basically, they call it turning to stone. It's where collagen starts building up like scar tissue on top of scar tissue, and it turns your skin very hard. And if it's diffuse, it's through your whole system, so it can start hardening a heart or lungs or stomach or kidneys.
Wow.
So it's basically a death sentence if they can't at least get it under control. So I was told it would be about from 2 to 15 years that I would have. And so I was trying to figure out, how do I at least feel well enough to find some joy along my journey. I was very, very sick, and it was affecting every part of my life. Because it had hardened my hands, you can kind of see with my hands some of the damage that was done, but it was hardening the skin, and it was—
Hold them back up once. Oh yeah, wow.
And I couldn't close my hands. They were so tight. And so I was only able to close them like this. And it was changing my world. It really was. My energy level was non-existent. And I was able to basically get up and throw a few clothes on, go do a couple of things, and come home and go back to bed. That was my life. And the thought of living like that the rest of my life was really, really hard. And so I was starting to get very depressed, and the anxiety and the depression, worrying about, I can't live like this. I've got these darling little grandkids. I want to see them grow up. I want to be a part of their lives. How do I do this? And so I was trying everything. I was trying all sorts of things. I was put on 11 different medications, one of them a chemotherapy drug, and nothing was helping. Nothing was slowing it down. It was still progressing pretty quickly. My skin on my face had hardened so much that when I would turn my face, it would pull like this. So any time I needed to look to the side, I would have to do this, because it was all so tight along my neck and my chin. I couldn't. So it was changing me. And it was very hard, very painful, extremely painful disease.
Wow.
My heart goes out to anyone who suffers with it. It's one of the most difficult diseases to deal with. And they found a little bit of it in my esophagus already, and in my stomach. So I was already having some issues from the inside as well. So I actually was given some products to try. A lot of people were giving me all different kinds of products.
Right.
And this was from a company that really hadn't even opened their doors yet. And I was given some products. It was a brother, or I wouldn't have taken them, because I actually have had some interesting experiences with this kind of a company, a network marketing company, and so I wasn't interested in anything more than. But what I was interested in is trying something if it would help me, and I was open to doing that. And I cannot even tell you what a blessing this was for me in my life, in a fairly short period of time. And I hate even saying that because it's so different with everybody. Everybody will respond differently. But in a relatively short period of time, I was able to close my hands. And I was taking these products to help with my depression and anxiety, which that's what I understood for them. I understood that's what they would do, is address that. And so when my first response to them was a physical response, it caught me off guard. And at first I didn't even dare tell anyone, because I thought, I don't want to jinx this. If I didn't even, I was so afraid of it, if it wasn't real, so I just kind of let this happen. And pretty soon it was like, I have to tell, it's like, what is in this stuff? Because I'm feeling better physically. My energy was coming back. My skin was softening. You couldn't have pinched skin on my arms. It felt like a cadaver. It was so hard.
Wow.
And the pain of that was, I wasn't having as much pain. So it was like a blessing. And it was from there that I thought, if this can help me like this, imagine what it can do for others. And then it was about 5 weeks later that the mental fog from the 11 different medications I was on lifted, and the depression lifted. And I have to honestly say this, and this is not, it may sound too good to be true, but all I can say is it's true. I have not had a day of depression. That doesn't mean I haven't had bad days.
Right.
Because I do. But I am so resilient. I pop up so much faster. Yes. And I think other than it, after 11 months of consistent daily use of this product, I was pronounced in remission of this disease. So right now there is and that was over a year ago.
Wow.
There's no, I know.
I have to we have to rewind here a little bit, because I have to tell everybody, I watched this. So while she was trying this, at the same time, my husband was right next to her trying it. Totally different diseases, totally different situations, and similar responses we were seeing. Oftentimes when people aren't feeling good, they're chronic and they don't feel good. And so eventually it leads to anxiety, and it leads to feeling down. And it's a side effect to not feeling good. And yet it's amazing how it can help with inflammation and autoimmune diseases. And what is helping that is this gut-brain connection, restoring gut health and restoring specific strains of bacteria in your gut. And when it connects to the brain, it's like your body can start to communicate together again. And what I love about, I think the one person that we have to just give great thanks to is your brother, Rich Higbee.
Yeah.
Because that is the same person that reached out to me to help my husband.
Yeah.
And neither one of us would be here without him and his beautiful wife, who have both sacrificed a lot to serve thousands. Yeah. And it's why you and I are here now, because we've seen what we've seen. And so,
you can't unsee that, can you?
Yeah, you can't unsee a miracle.
No.
You can't unsee a miracle. And what's beautiful is that, like my husband, you also worked with your medical doctors.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I state that because it's very important that we merge the two, Western medicine to Eastern medicine. We need both. There is a time and place for both. And when done correctly, it's amazing how the human body, it gives me goosebumps, can restore itself.
Right. It's like you give your body what it needs to actually do the work that it can do to fight whatever kinds of issues might be going on. And I honestly, I had no idea. I did not understand, and I'm embarrassed to say this. I did not understand the importance of our gut health. I
I
did
know,
not.
but nobody did. I mean, this is new revealed science in the world. Like 5 to 6 years ago, hardly anyone knew. And now it's starting to be mainstreamed. Now we're starting to realize more and more people are, it's making sense to them that if your gut's not healthy, you're not healthy. But most people still don't know the tools and the platforms and how to help that restoration. And there's nothing out there. What is out there is complicated and it's very expensive. And I know because we spent our life savings trying to help my husband all over the country on these very things. And it was functional medicine is very, very expensive. It's not covered usually by insurance and it's very complicated. And so to have these tools is key. And another important thing that you said that I want to point out to everyone is, it took you 11 months to get into remission. It takes time for the body to heal, but you start to notice this awakening. You start to notice some things change. And even if it can't fix, everything for somebody, because we're not claiming that, and nor would we ever say that. It's a case-by-case situation. But quality of life. I always tell people, if you can improve someone's quality of life by just 20%, 10%, for some people, that could be the difference for them to commit suicide because they're so miserable.
Absolutely.
You cannot put a price on that. And so you are getting quality of life back without side effects, and you were able to responsibly reduce your medications under your doctor's care.
Right. Under my doctor's care, I'm on nothing, no prescriptions anymore. And that's been over a year. No, that's been about a year and a half. So
Wow.
I quit at about, I weaned off the first 10 medications over 3 months once I started on these products, and then another 3 months finished weaning off of the chemo.
That's amazing. That is so amazing.
And honestly, I know that doctors try to treat these symptoms, but I think that what Amari does that is so amazing and why it's helping so many people is we're not treating, we're trying to balance systems in our body to get them in better balance. We don't talk about healing, we talk about balancing and getting our nervous system in better balance with our gastrointestinal system, with our endocrine system, with our immune system. And all of that is really, it's very symbiotic. And if it's in balance, your whole body responds. That's why someone with, ADD will respond, and someone with an autoimmune disease will respond. And, we're having so many different kinds of responses because it's about balancing this system. And the more I learn, the more impressed I am with what it is that we're doing and what we're about. We are about bringing mental wellness, which covers physical. It's like the umbrella that covers physical wellness. So when we talk about being the mental wellness company, it's not just about your mental health, but just like we have physical health, we have mental health.
Right.
And if we're not addressing both, because they go hand in hand, I don't care what anybody says, they are connected. If somebody is feeling crummy in their gastrointestinal system, they're going to experience mental health issues as well. Most of the time, if we have problems with focus, there's gut issues. So this is all connected, and finding the right balance, the right products for each person is a real process. And so committing to that process, I always tell the people that I'm working with, if you're not willing, in fact, I just talked to someone today, just right before this call, if you're not willing to do this daily, then don't do it, because it's not, this is about changing your life. And if you're serious about changing your life, then let's make the commitment to do this.
It's not a quick fix. It's restoring.
Right.
It's completely restorative. Leisa, you had, such a stress in your life from physical and mental. But this disease, like it did to Derek and I, also really shattered you financially.
Oh my goodness. Well, you can imagine I'm a hair and makeup artist. That's what I've done for the last 30.
And very good, by the way. Like, I
That's
know,
how
but
we
she's done
met.
mine and she's amazing. She's amazing. It never looked as good as when you did my makeup, girl. Um, but you were really struggling, and like we were, and you were probably in your mind and on paper probably the least likely person, right, to ever help open up a direct sales network marketing company in a new category creator brand. But you did, because you were so passionate.
Well, how do you not share this?
I know.
And it has changed your life. It's given me my life back. How do I not share that with? I feel almost a responsibility, like a stewardship responsibility, to make sure that people know that we have options available to us
That's
that are
right.
natural, that do not have all the side effects. As I'm not anti-pharmaceutical. I know that there's a place for pharmaceuticals. I'm anti-ignorance, and I was one of the ignorant ones.
That's good.
I was one of the ignorant ones that just did what my doctor said, and that way, you know, that I didn't have to take any responsibility. And honestly, I have learned we have got to take responsibility for our health, for our mental health, for our physical health.
We are our own best advocate.
That's right.
When somebody is too sick, be an advocate for someone else. Don't forget to do that, because that was my husband. He needed advocacy because sometimes people are so sick, they're using everything they have to deal with that they can't fight for themselves. They can't be a voice. And I lived that, and it's why I'm here. It's why I felt so passionate about Amare Global, because I want to be a voice to a moral obligation. You said stewardship, to at least share this as a piece, a huge missing link and a missing piece, to serve people and to help them on their journeys. And it could be, not only was this helpful, for you and for Derek, but other people in your family have had restored health, haven't they? And people like me, I didn't have a disease, but I had a lot of stress, and it's completely transformed me. And so what have you seen in others?
Oh my goodness. I have 3 sons that have struggled with anxiety, and one of them with depression that has been debilitating in a lot of ways. And so not only was this a miracle in my own life, but our whole family. This has changed our home. And then any people I'm reaching out to, I'm seeing the same thing. And so what I'm finding is that if people will take this as if their life depends on it, because I really do believe that their healthy life depends on it. Because we cannot I don't care how healthy we are eating. I don't care how much organic food we buy. If we're not getting the right things to our gut to feed the right bacteria that give the messages back and forth from our brain to our gut and our gut to our brain, things, you may not have the benefits that you're looking for. That's what we do. Another thing I love about this,
you can't absorb.
No.
You can eat all the healthy stuff in the world and do all the right exercises, but if your bacteria is off, you cannot absorb correctly, period.
Exactly. Another thing I love about this company that we're with is that it's not just about a product. We're not just a product company. We're a company that's combining products and then programs that also help to support your wellness, your physical and mental wellness. And then we're developing this community that is, so we're products, people, and programs. You just can't, it is, and it's a mission. We are bringing mental wellness to the world, and I feel it's become my passion, and I'm loving it. So let me just tell you a little bit about the whole business part of it for me, because like you said, I pretty much lost my business. I was so sick and wasn't able to do much work for about 2 years. And so I lost a lot of clientele that I'd worked 30 years, to build.
Right.
And there wasn't a lot of hope as far as getting well. There's not a lot out there that says you can rebalance your system and feel better. If not remission, you can feel better.
Right.
And so there wasn't a lot of hope anywhere I looked on the internet. And so this really was, it was hard. It was really scary and really hard. So when I started sharing with people, I'm sorry, I've got a serviceman that's come to fix something. So
that's all right.
This is
real life.
Yeah. And when I started sharing, I couldn't even, it was like, I had to share. And then people are desperately looking for answers. Sarah, this is something that people are looking for. And half the time they just don't know about it. And so they don't even know where to look. We look to medicine. We look to our doctors for the answers. And even my doctor, when I asked her after 3 months of being on the products and she could see the difference, it was obvious. What are you doing? And I showed her and she said, wow, well, it's obviously working for you. And I said, so one of the things that separates us from other companies that deal with some probiotics is the specific strains.
Right.
Probiotics.
The strain,
because she had told me before I ever heard about Amari didn't even exist. She said, if we can get your gut healthy, I told you that she said that if you can get your gut healthy, you'll feel better. So I want you to get on a really good, that's what she said, a really good probiotic. So I went and there's a wall of probiotics at the health food store. I bought the most expensive because I thought that would be the best. And it didn't help. And when I got on this product, it helped me quickly. It was amazing how the difference. And so, yeah.
And can I just say this, because you are such a beautiful example and you're so humble and so modest, but you went from very struggling situation financially and with your health to this woman right here is one of the top earners at Amari Global. And you did it through your passionate gift of sharing. You just like a wildfire was lit underneath you, like it was me.
It was.
A fire, I get goosebumps. A fire was lit underneath us where we just knew that we had found something that could help people.
I had tried some other things. I'd signed up and, after a couple people said no, I thought this isn't for me. Well, what wasn't for me was the vehicle. It was the wrong vehicle for me. For me, you probably can tell I'm a very, very passionate person. I have to feel like this is the right thing.
Right.
I have to know in my heart that this is the right thing. I can't just go out and sell, I don't know, a candle or makeup. It just didn't mean anything. It didn't change anything. It didn't make a meaningful difference in people's lives. This is making a meaningful difference. I can wrap my whole heart around that. And I will spend hours, and you do too. I will spend, many hours a day making sure that people know about this and sharing the message and sharing the hope. It's just, it's a hope. And then other people who have never built a business like this, I can show them, if I can do this, I promise you, you can do it. Right. And so it's been a really exciting journey for me. I feel like I've gone from kindergarten to my doctorate degree without all of the in-between. So it has been a learning curve that has just made my head spin sometimes.
I love it.
Oh my gosh, I'm enjoying what I'm learning.
Leisa, I am so proud of you. And that's why I was so honored to share your story and to interview you, because my hope is always that if one person can hear this and it can give them hope, whatever they're going through. And for some people, some of you, it might be that you just don't have a job that you love anymore. You might not have a disease, or you might not, have a very specific illness. I didn't. It might be that you don't have purpose anymore in life, or that, for us, it was everything. We had to start all over in our 40s financially because we had lost everything from one illness, wiped us clean. And all I can say is there's a lot here, and it's real, and it's changing people's lives. And we love to give hope. And Leisa, you are a beacon of light to so many. I interviewed somebody just recently, and she talked about being a lighthouse, and being a light to others. And so, Leisa, you are that lighthouse. And thank you so much for being open and willing to keep searching for yourself. And because of that willingness, now you are serving the masses, and it's just beginning. So thank you for sharing your vulnerability. I'm so proud of you. Congratulations on all your amazing success.
Thank you.
And listen, for those of you that are listening, reach out to Leisa, reach out to her, because this woman is truly a servant leader in every way. She's here to serve you. Reach out to me. We want to shed light and hope. We can't say this is going to fix everything in your life, but what if it could help a little or a whole lot? You'll never know if you don't try. And so that's my hope for everybody listening. So Leisa, any other last parting words before I let you go?
Timing, the timing of what we bring to the world right now. Can you think of another time in history when mental health is more in the forefront of the needs of our society? I mean, everywhere you look, you can see that it's out of control. And if we can help people get their gut-brain axis balanced, then I think that we're going to find some real meaningful changes. This company is going to make some real meaningful changes in people's lives. It already is. And we're just getting started. So the timing for this kind of a company couldn't be better for somebody to be able to get started. It's like we are so brand new still. And it just makes it that much more exciting to be part of the history that this company will create, because it is creating history.
Yeah.
Something that they're actually coming out with just this next month is a new platform that we will be able to access all different kinds of modalities, because it's not, like I said, it's not just about the products. It's about programs that we will implement that people can have access to support their journey of mental wellness, whether it's physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, in every way possible. So this is more special than anything that I could even imagine to have been a part of. And I'm so grateful to be a part of it at such a turning point in our world right now.
Absolutely. Your brother is a history maker.
He is.
We're serving him. And so thanks, Rich.
Thanks, Rich.
We wouldn't be here without you. And HipTran.
And HIP.
Created Amari Global, and Dr. Sean Talbot and Mike Brown, just amazing individuals that are really saving lives. They are, and it's in giving people hope. And so listen, that's what we're about. Check it out. So excited to be on this journey. And Leisa, God bless you. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Sarah.
All right. We love you guys. All right, take care, everybody.